my partner. You have to, this person filming, look at yourself. Get back to it. Straighten up. All right. Straighten up. Look, all right. Values are service, duty, integrity. I would even go so far as to say, instead of duty, responsibility.
What would you tell a person from your past about the present successes?
An ex-boyfriend who I dated before I left Alabama, I would say to him that I never exactly wanted to leave you necessarily. I wanted to feel from any relationship that I'm in as an artist that whoever I'm with, their heart is very present with me on the journey, and that they are, and that whatever relationship I have privately, they are the adventure. It seemed like I just ran away. It seemed like I suddenly just wanted to pop up in the city when my entire life was predicated on this moment that I had worked so hard for to exactly achieve what I'm doing at its highest level. Like my grandma used to say, it's time to get while the getting's good. It's time to get on while the getting is good. It's time for us to move on. It's time for us to, before I say us, me, I've overcome a lot. I hold my composure through a lot of things. I navigate the world in I try to keep a broad view of how I see myself moving through this space and time. It's time for me to get to it. It's time for me to trust everything that I've been building up to this point. It's time for me to clap my hands for myself. For me to understand we can be as gentle as we want to be about whatever we are doing with each other. But about the world out here, it's time for me to take myself very seriously. Now, for me to take myself serious about finding those who want to build. Not to get in my acting voice, not to get serious, not to get aggressive. Black people must take themselves the most serious we have ever taken ourselves and anyone younger than us. Black people specifically, we are on the very bottom of the scale economically in the world. African Americans are situated in America to not cure the problem of poverty, to not cure the problem of racism, to not cure the problem of anything. But one thing we can do in America as Black people is secure ourselves and our families, and we have to take that notion as serious as possible. If there is a God, if we serve and if we believe in the spiritual essence of the universe, we have to understand and feel the tide, because the tide is rolling in. That's the best way I know how to put it in simple Southern terms without getting so dramatic, without seeming like I'm screaming at the camera. What time is it? It is time for women to seriously. It's not about running and hiding. It's not about finding shelter. It is not about covering yourself. It is about women realizing that the answer has always been, and it always will be, within. It is within yourself, down to our future, down to how every single good and perfect thing, the babies, that are delivered and being delivered across the earth. For the time we are in, we have children that are coming here for a very short time and a very terrible time. So as we move forward in our future, because time is the only thing that does not control us. The time itself is moving, but the time itself is free. So with that, women, children, men of all races have to understand the time is for us to take this life, this very, very short life that is moving, and it seems to be at such a pace quicker. We have to take it very seriously, as serious as we've ever taken our life.
Go.
Oh my gosh. So, shout out to Michaela. Shout out to Michaela. I'll say her name without clapping. It's been a wonderful 2 years. I refer to her as Little Miss. This is the most gentle, amazing, direct, and yes, I go, listen, you're a director. I want you to direct my plays. I want you to direct their plays. I want you to direct your plays. I want you to direct film. I want you to direct communities. I want you to direct anything that you want. So this is my friend that I care about, that she cares about the things that I care about, and we trying to care about y'all together. This is a quiet conversation. This is real, because if you meet us in real life, we're very real. We don't change. We're trying to concentrate and focus. James Baldwin is one of the most prolific artists, and I mean conveyors, authors of our time. It has been my wish for a long time to produce and star in and fight for the things that he wrote about, the things that he lived, the things that he spoke about, that of the time that we are in now. This is a person who I, for my first show, wanted to give total homage to. So for my production company, 67 Brooms, we would like to produce Blues for Mr. Charlie by James Baldwin. I'm from Alabama. My baby brother was born in Meridian, Mississippi. My great-grandfather's name is Henry. The main character is Henry Meridian. Henry Meridian. And it takes place in a very small southern town. It was inspired by the death of Emmett Till. It was written and dedicated to Medgar Evers right after his assassination in Mississippi. 1964 is such a pivotal year. The 60s. 1967 was the year my parents were born. But out of all the women, out of all of the women and men, but the women who brought those men forward, who were in their houses, before there was a broom, with their footsteps, they were collecting dust. And as this dust was swirling around, it was also being swept into place or swept out of place for a clearing. The company's name is 67 Brooms. We would seek to produce live stage in New York. We would seek to produce short film documentary and feature-length film. We want to give voice to each of the women that swept in their houses, to give homage to our ancestors. So I'm plugging the ladies. This is an executive interior. I'm giving homage to our ancestors and the stories that led us here. I'm also trying to lead with the fact that our generation can and will do it. All of these interviews, all of this media, we stand in the middle to exactly change whichever direction the wind is blowing. Our sails, our ships will carry us. Is that is that promo? Is that enough, or is that good? Is that